there will be exceptions to it, but that will be across social media, because again, LinkedIn essentially comes under both. It comes under professional as well as social media. It's essentially professional social media, right? तो अब
Yes.
social media है तो people are allowed to put anything. So whenever I put my opinion across, I always say कि यार, if you are starting out, don't focus on beauty, female, anything. Just focus on insightful and authentic. And third thing would be consistency, which I always say, which everybody will always say, and you will feel like यार सबने बोल दिया, कितनी बार बोल दिया, that you have to post a lot to actually get that reach. But even if you post less, quality and quantity will go hand in hand. I will not say quality over quantity. That only happens when you have a certain kind of reach. Because उसके बाद क्या होगा, at least you have that reach, and अगर quality content होगा, it will get that push, irrespective of picture डाली भी है कि नहीं. Because right now what is happening is a lot of people put pictures. I also, because I've realized the algorithm is pushing that. But wo rich, beauty, luxury, that really doesn't matter on specifically LinkedIn, thankfully. I hope it doesn't matter even in the future, because I think then it will become yet another social media platform where competition is more on beauty standards, and I won't want it to be that, because at the end of the day, it's still professional.
Beauty and your level of grammar. That's also a
Grammar
big
is
concern,
important. I'm
right?
sorry.
है ना?
I'll tell you
Like,
something.
why?
नहीं नहीं, grammar is important because I'll tell you. I'm someone who's from English honors, so मेरा थोड़ा biased opinion भी हो सकता है. But I know a lot of people, a lot of friends who are not very very good at communicating, and I've told them, try to do a few courses which give you that basic confidence, because LinkedIn, like we were talking, it is professional. So when you have a reach जिसमें 30% people are maybe founders, CEOs, C-level executives, and 30% people are students, and 30% people are software engineers, they are looking for that basic communication. So idea wo hai. It's not that it is proving a point, you know English, or you have a good English like background. It is more of the audience is relating to better English because they are professionals, because they feel like यार ये तो basic communication है, ये तो होनी चाहिए, right? So idea is something different. It's more of the audience you are catering to. So basic grammar is important, and even when you're creating insightful content, people need to understand what you're saying, na. Otherwise, there won't be any engagement, and let alone engagement, there won't be any interaction also. If you're building a community for the future, you want to be very very clear with what you're saying. Uske liye you have to have a good grammar, and nahi hai to enhance it. Like watch YouTube videos. I've done it for so many people. I used to be a teacher for underprivileged children, and wahan pe to English is a very like over analyzed thing, right? They are like कि क्यों करना है? We want to learn like good Hindi to excel in our lives. And I just taught them ki, okay, we'll give 3 months to English. If you don't like it, leave it. I will not say anything. And each one of them, and I mean each one of them, I had 11 students. All of them topped in their 10th grade, specifically in English. So it's just a matter of time that you give it to yourself. A lot of people say English nahi aati hai. Give it 3 months. We have YouTube. We have watch series. Watch basic English series. You will grab so much of English from there that you will be like, "अरे ये तो इतना easy था." Because all of us are watching series nowadays. Try to watch English wale,
I'm
which are
not.
basic. Even I
I'm
don't.
the exception. I
Even I
don't
don't.
watch movies. I don't watch movies. I don't watch series. I don't like to watch content essay. So let's keep
Wow.
us exceptions.
Except no, no.
This,
Even I don't
this
watch series. Yeah,
and
yeah. Go
definitely
ahead.
there are one or two series I definitely watch. There's you, there's Harry Potter. I watch it like again and again. I don't watch you. Please don't judge people. I'm I'm not into you. But I think जैसे हम लोग ना बताते हैं a lot of content people say कि भाई ये content देखना चाहिए. It's well and good because you get the flow of it. But
Absolutely.
I've done some reading about this development age of children's and why are they able to grasp the speaking of a language before they even like able to write it. For example, बच्चे 1-2 साल की 6 महीने की छह तो I don't know actual numbers की कब बोलना शुरू करते हैं, but जैसे शुरू करते हैं वो बोलने लग जाते हैं हिंदी. तो इट्स मोर अबाउट योर सर्कल कि कहाँ आप
I agree.
गुजार रहे हो कि भाई जैसे आपने कंटेंट भी अगर किसी का देख रहे हो तो क्या आप रिप्लाई कर रहे हो. सो इट्स अ टू एंड फ्रो फ्लो ऑफ इंग्लिश जहाँ पे आप सीख पाएंगे. तो आई गेस कि
Agreed.
लोगों से ऐसे मिलो जो आपको इंग्लिश में कर पाए या फिर स्टार्ट टू हैव अ फ्लो. एंड आई लर्नड इट बैक व्हेन आई हैड अ इंटरेक्शन विद अ फॉरेनर. I was very No, not with a foreigner. So I used to think कि भाई हाँ अपने को आता है, ठीक है, अपनी इंग्लिश इतनी बुरी भी नहीं है, ठीक है, I can make coherent sentences without any flaw. I'm just very bad with commas, punctuations. I'm very bad with it. And I've been thinking कि भाई करूँगा, but I'm not doing it. So once I was in North Campus, I was in Vijayanagar. So I was sitting there, I was with my friend. So there came two people from St. Stephen's, and as the world would have it, and I have it, I'm very aggressive about providing people with a counter-intuitive way of their life. कि भाई स्टीफेंस तो भाई तुम्हारी ये चीज है, इसका क्या क्या रीजन है? तो आई हैव अ वेरी ऐसी चीज कि मैं आपको वही ऑनेस्ट या फिर वो क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा जो आप सुनना ही नहीं चाहते, कि जो आपको लगेगा कोई पूछेगा नहीं, मैं वो पूछ लूंगा. तो आई स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग टू देम एंड इट वाज लाइक जनवरी, कंप्लीटली विंटर, इतना ज्यादा ठंड. तो 11 बजे से वो कॉन्वर्जेशन शुरू हुई एंड हम लोग सुबह 6 बजे तक बात करते रहे. वी वर इन पार्क एंड आई रियलाइज कि जैसे जैसे उन लोगों से बात करता रहा ना, तो इनिशियली वो एक फ्रिक्शन था कन्वर्सेशन में कि वो लोग काफी फ्लुएंट थे. आई वाज नॉट दैट फ्लुएंट. सो इट स्टार्टेड बिल्डिंग अराउंड 3 and 4. जब तक मैं समझ मुझे वो फ्लो मिल गया, देन आई रियलाइज कि एक अचानक से एपिफनी हुई कि भाई ओके dude, you are like rocking it. So then I had a real time experience ki to learn a language, it's more about the real world communication.
Absolutely.
But एक्चुअल में कंटेंट पे क्या करना चाहिए फिर? बिकॉज लैंग्वेज सीखना इज लाइक कि भाई चलो बात करके हो जाता है, बट कंटेंट डालना, फिर वहां पे कुछ भी चला जाता है तो वो कुछ भी वायरल हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता. पीपल विल जज यू और लाइक डिसाइड कि भाई इस बंदे से इंटरेक्ट करें नहीं करें. आपके कंटेंट के बेस पे आपसे जुड़ा जाएगा. तो लैंग्वेज तो हो गया कि भाई चलो बात करके आप अपनी गलती देख पाओगे, क्या यू विल नो कि भाई गलत बोल दिया. बट कंटेंट के टर्म्स में क्या कैसे होगा फिर?
Acha, okay, interesting question. I've never thought about this. So the thing is, कि if you have a basic knowledge of the language, keep it simple online. This is the basic thing. A lot of people have assumed कि यार, a lot of people assume कि English flaunt करोगे. You know, like we were talking about English. You don't need to flaunt. You don't even need to use fancy words because you are connecting with normal humanly people, जिनको basic language में ही समझ आएगी, right? So try to have a good grammar, not a good English. Talk in English, have proper structured sentences, have a good grammar, but there's no need for fancy words. That's what I've learned. So, because a lot of people assume grammar and fancy English is similar. Not at all. Grammar is just structuring it in a right way where it is correct, like punctually correct, right?
You are able to make coherent sentences one by one.
People are able to understand what you're saying. You have to create stuff which people, even if they don't relate to, because you'll have to experiment what is really relatable to your audience. You'll have to experiment that. But at the core, it is something which people understand. Jab tak they'll understand, either they'll like the content you are writing, even if they don't engage with it. A lot of times I also don't engage with a post, but I read it. I feel like, okay, this could improve, but it is something I'm understanding, right? Basic hoga, so I might not engage with it, but I would know that this person is making sense. So you'll have to start with that. Half of the people will firstly read your post, be like, हाँ, it makes sense, it's not interesting, next. The next time you show up on their feed, they will read the entire post. And by the third time, they will be someone who's either engaging or like a member of your community.